Hello everyone, this is Mr. Informal. At this time of the year, a lot of electronics are coming out, being released, not announced, but being released. As you know, we're almost close to the middle of the year. We're here, the summertime is here. So, let's talk about the Motorola G6 family, the whole G6 family. That includes the Motorola G6, the Motorola G6 Plus, and the Motorola G6 Play. So all these three is basically under the G6 moniker of Motorola. And for some reason, I don't understand. So you know what? Let's talk about the design first, okay? So the normal G6 gets a 5.7-inch screen, 1080p with an 18:9 ratio aspect ratio. Not only that, the G6 Plus also get the same thing, but the G6 Plus gets a 5.9-inch screen, and the G6 Play get 5.7 with a 720 resolution, 18:9. So that's 720 by 1440. And so the G6 and the G6 Play gets a front fingerprint scanner, while the G6 Play gets a back fingerprint scanner. But here's the thing, okay? So check this out. The G6 and the G6 Plus get around, actually, you know what? G6 gets a 3000 milliamp battery, 3000. The G6 Plus gets 3200. The G6 Play get 4000 milliamps. Yes, 4000. That's crazy. But here's another thing, okay? So the G6 and the G6 Plus get 2.0 Type C. The G6 Play get a micro USB. Yes, a micro USB. And all of them have a headphone jack. So, I can tell you this right now that this will not make a dent on the mid-range market of mobile phones or even smartphones. That category will probably belong to Huawei, OnePlus, Honor, all those, Vivo, all those Chinese manufacturers. Motorola, I really don't understand what this G6 phones are gonna be catered to. I really don't understand it. And I forgot to mention that the G6 and the G6 Plus both have two cameras in the back, while the G6 Play only has one single camera. So I'm really trying to understand why there's three of them. Why not just make it two, reduce it? Why not just have a Motorola G6 and have a Motorola G6 Play? Remove the G6 Plus, what's the point of it? So let's get, now that we got the most important specs, actually, you know what, here, let me give you one more specs, okay, to digest here. Let's talk about CPU and memory. You know what, that's two. So G6 has Snapdragon 450, G6 Plus got Snapdragon 630, and G6 Play get the 430. And so when it comes to memory, the G6 gets 4 gigs of RAM or 3 gigs of RAM depending on your storage. Same thing for the G6. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It's not the same thing. It's 64. If you get the 64 gig on the G6 Plus, you get 4 gigs of RAM. If you get 128 gigs on the G6 Plus, you get 6 gigs of RAM. And then on the G6 Play, 32 gigs of RAM, 3 gigs of RAM, well, is assigned to 32 gigabits of storage. And then you got a 16 gigabit storage with the 2 gigs of RAM. Okay, now that we got most of the important specs out of the way, I'm basically telling you my thoughts here. Okay, so what do I think of this? This is not gonna be the leader in the budget mobile industry. Like I said, that will go to the Chinese manufacturers. Now, will this make Motorola be more profitable? Make consumers aware? No, absolutely not. When it comes to design, it's so typical. There's nothing wrong. I don't understand why 2 of them got front fingerprint scan and another one doesn't. I just don't. Why is there so much model differentiation here? I don't get it. It just makes it hard in the production process or in the manufacturing process. Also, all of the phones are quite big, 5.7. I mean, wow. Can they at least have one that's 5 inches or 4.7 inches, just like the original Moto X? Yeah, I kind of miss the Moto X actually. And so, let's get down to business. Who are these phones for? Basically, to those budget-minded consumers. Problem with that is the budget-minded consumers will look to OnePlus, Vivo, Huawei, and also Honor. I mean, even ZTE for that matter. So we're left asking or scratching our head. Does Motorola even trying here? To me, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So let me get to the rant here, okay? I'm pretty sure the price is gonna range from $250 to $300 or $250 to $350, okay? Give or take. So the biggest thing I don't understand about this is why is the G6 Play have a lower resolution than the G6 and G6 Plus, and yet it has a higher battery capacity even though they're all the same sizes? Why not just give the G6 Plus a 4000 milliamp battery? Or you know what, just like I said earlier, remove the G6 Plus and replace it with the G6 Play. And here's the thing that really bothers me to no end. Why is the G6 Plus has a micro USB? Why, when the G6 and the G6 Plus has a USB type C? I do not get it. Another thing is that why does the G6 Play have a lower resolution? Why is it 720? Why? I mean, if you're gonna pay $300 for the G6 Play, why are you paying more when you're getting less? I mean, you might as well get the G6, the ordinary G6, but it doesn't have a good battery life because the G6 Play has 4000 milliamp, even though the G6 is around the same size as the G6 Play. Not only that, look at the RAM here, okay? So the G6 has 64 gigabits of storage with a 4 gigs of RAM. And I'll even go lower. 32 gigs of RAM. 32 gigs of storage with 3 gigs of RAM. But the 32 gigabit storage on the G6 Play has 3 gigs of RAM. I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, I would love to have somebody explain this to me. Not only that, the G6 Play has, if you get the 16 gigs, you get 2 gigs of RAM. Are you kidding me? Am I really paying that much just for that? Not only that, I don't even think it will get Android One or Android Go. I mean, I'm at a loss here. I must be the only one who's noticing it in here. Now, I've never been a fan of the G line, but last year Moto G5 with a removable battery was absolutely great. I praised that. So I'm just trying to wrap my head around this G6 family. Is that why are there so many compromises? Why can't I get one or the other? But I have to pick. If I want something bigger battery, I have to go bigger. But I can go, but at the same time, I'm losing something else. There's too many compromises here, whether it be the RAM, whether it be the storage, even the camera. The G6 and the G6 Plus has two dual cameras in the back, and yet the G6 Play doesn't. It only has a single camera. I'm very confused. I mean, I would love to have somebody explain that to me. But I'm not even gonna go any longer than this because it's getting way too long for this thoughts, analysis, and rant on the Moto G6. And so I'm just gonna conclude it right there. Hopefully you made it this far. And if you understand it, why Motorola is doing this, let me know down in the comments below, because I really don't. And so I will see you in another thoughts, analysis, and rant. Bye bye.